Hi and welcome back. Today's look is going to be the look that you see right here. It's a raspberry glitter plum eye. I do love purple. You know, I can't get away from purple. As much as I try, it just calls out to me. Take me. Use me. It's like, you're so cute. How could I not use you? Get on my face. So today we have another purple look. I'm so sorry. But if you want to see how this came out, how I got this, then just keep on watching. So we're going to start with some primer. I'm going to be starting with my blur stick from Milk. I'm going to be applying that everywhere that I need. And then I just like to rub it in with my hands. Just make sure everything's good and even. So next we've got foundation. I'm going to be using the Lingerie de Pieux on a pretty much a 56 brush.
It's been a while since I've had to put in the work of putting on a liquid foundation with a brush. Beauty blenders have made us lazy. I gotta get better at calling them beauty sponges, because only the beauty blender is a beauty blender. We're sitting here calling everybody's things a beauty blender. They're makeup sponges. I think that's a good. Dust into my hairline a little bit.
Next I'm going to follow with my Kat Von D concealer. This is the shade M25. It's her Lock-It concealer. I know it looks like a really light shade, but this does dry quite dark when it oxidizes. I find that even like when I wear the custard from NARS, that happens sometimes too, where it just seems to oxidize almost into like not even a highlighting shade for me anymore. So I'm going to be taking my Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. I'm going to blend that out.
I don't really fall in love with anything, so you're not really going to ever find me using the same stuff over and over again. I like to change it up. I like to do different things depending on how intense I want things to be, how natural I want things to be, where am I going, what am I doing. And I feel like as a makeup artist, it's bad for business to get stuck on one thing. I think it's really bad for me and my artistry to be constantly reaching for the same things. The only reason why I don't reach for other things when it comes to like setting my concealer. I've been using this for about a month now, and I'm just not sick of it yet, you know? The Kat Von D setting powder is very close to this one. It has that radiance, so if you need a powder that is for your whole face, as well as just your under eye, I would recommend that one. The Laura Mercier does no wrong. Unless, of course, you feel like the translucent shade is too light, and of course, there are other shades now. Even Cover FX has a medium shade setting powder. And around we go. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Of course, you know I like to blur everything out. I don't feel like you could ever get enough blurring power. So Ultra HD powder for Makeup Forever. We're going to dust off everything. I'm doing it quicker because the Kat Von D does have a lot more coverage because of its matte finish. We're going to lightly sweep that on there. Remember, we're not getting crazy because who wants to look white as a ghost? I tap into it like once, maybe twice. That's pretty much about it. Moving on to contour. What is this? What is going on here? Get in your place, please. Thank you. Everybody wants curls until you get curls and you realize how high maintenance curls are. Like, I'm already a high maintenance personality. Why you gotta do it to me? You know I like to mix Havana and Java together. Do you mix it? Or do you just use like one shade? And I like to just really, really sculpt. I feel like you can't really have enough contour. You can't. You can't. You gotta follow up with the nose. Can't not have the nose. Next, I'm gonna use the same beauty blender. I'm not gonna add anything to it. I'm just gonna kind of just clean up, hair dragging whatever's left from the beauty blender to just sharpen up my contour a little bit, clean it up a tiny bit, sculpt my cheeks a little bit more. Moving on to blush, I'm gonna be using Milani. Their Luminous Blush. It's one of their baked powder blushes. Just using a regular generic angled blush brush. We're going really, really big on the eyes, a lot of drama. So I want the face to stay not so natural that it doesn't come together, but natural enough that the focus is definitely the eye area. For highlight, we're going to do Estee Edits. This is their Heat highlight. I'm going to use the same highlight brush that I normally use. And we're just going to tap that onto the cheekbone area. And up into the eyebrows. I'm not going to prime my lids with the Laura Mercier Eye Basics Primer in Flax. I'm going to go ahead and prime my brows. I'm using Benefit's Conditioning Primer. And this just helps for everything that I put on my brows to stick. I'm then going to use my Cabral, also from Benefit, and that's in the shade 5, what I normally use. And my 20 brush from Sephora. This one came for 2015's holiday. Every year they launch a new one, and every year I must have. Except last year, I didn't get. But I will this year, because I absolutely must this year. Let's get to here. Let's move this out the way. Ooh! Move it out the way so I could do my brows. Let me do this one for you. Let's put this back down. Alright, and now I'm going to use my Kat Von D concealer, and we're just going to clean it up. Today I'm using an Essence of Beauty brush. We're just going to wiggle that under there, clean it up. and then drag it down. I'm just gonna slightly blend it out a little bit. I don't want it to be like a halo brow. I'm going to be working out of my Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. I'm going to be first going into shade Flamingo. It's a hot pink shade. Tapping off any excess. And we're going to be placing that in the crease and dragging it up. On a Sephora Precision Shadow Brush, I'm going to be bringing that same color down to the bottom lash line. Now I'm taking the shade Bossy. I'm going to put that deeper into my crease. I'm using a Sigma E40 brush. We're going to follow with that same shade on the lower lash line. Next, I'm taking the Full Spectrum palette and I'm going to be using the color Delirious on a flat shader brush. And we're going to be placing that right in the outer edge. A tiny bit into our crease, but really just concentrating that color on the outsides. I'm going to use the angled out part of this brush to put it very, very tight near my lashes. We're going to keep it tight. I'm going to go back into the Huda Beauty palette and I'm going to be taking the Rose Gold shade and placing that all over the first third of the eyelid, just as a base for the glitter that we're going to put there. For glitter, we're going to be going into my Glitter Spectrum palette. It's a pressed glitter. I will leave the shade down below because I don't remember it off the top of my head. And with a synthetic brush, I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that product and we're just going to tap that on top of Fling. Oh, look at that. Tell me that's not the prettiest thing you've ever seen. Next, we're going into liner. I'm going to be using my Urban Decay Perversion liner today. And I'm going to be drawing out a wing. Because, you know, that's my thing. And I've got downturn eyes that make me look really sad. So I want to give my eyes some lift. So I draw out my wing. And then I bring in my liner pretty much like straight across. I'm going to be using my Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir mascara. So for this look, I want to add a lot of drama. I want it to really... Okay, so we're going to do Scarlet Lashes from Huda Beauty. You know, she's my favorite. I feel like most of her lashes, you can't go wrong. I haven't tried them all. I've only tried maybe 7 or 8. I like them all. I was a little iffy about Jay, but then I tried him again the other day, and I was like, oh, I'm so glad I tried you again. Yes, girl. Alrighty, so we're going to move on to lips. So I'm going to be starting off with the Sephora Collections Gel Liner in Molasses. It's a dark brown. I like it because it's so easy to use. And then I'm going to be using Ludwig from Kat Von D over that. We're just going to go in and we're going to add an inner corner highlight. This one is going to be a loose pigment from MAC called Pearl. It's just a very white color. And I'm just going to put that all over the tear duct and drag it down into the lower lash line and up into the glitter, just to give a pop. And so this is the final look. I hope you love it. I'm going to do something that's not purple next time. I swear. I hope. I swear. I hope. I guess you'll have to stay tuned. Till next time.